Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just a little over 1 week away from its official release by Disney, Lucasfilm, J.J. Abrams, and even creator George Lucas. That is all set and ready to end the Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy itself. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Episode 9 is that a lot of fans are very concerned about this movie, not only based on all the changes that they made throughout the months of August, September, and October, but also based on all of the things that fans have seen in the TV spots, the trailers, the teasers, and everything that they have actually been hearing throughout all the different interviews by JJ, Daisy Ridley, and more, explaining more elements about this movie. Now, on top of all of this, we do know that The Rise of Skywalker will change many different aspects of specific characters associated with the Skywalker saga. That's going to make us look at the past 8 Star Wars movies in a different light, without a doubt. Now, JJ, he has an actual goal with this movie in order to make it by far the darkest Star Wars film there is, even though I believe that it's impossible to do that, since Revenge of the Sith, I think, cannot be topped at all in any way, shape, or form, especially with a Disney movie. Now, with that being said, what's really intriguing is that, of course, shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that in the very beginning of the film, Kylo Ren is said to be using a device called the Wayfinder device, which allows him to travel over to the world of Exegol and to find Palpatine's location. It's explained that in the upcoming official The Rise of Skywalker novelization, it will unveil that it was Darth Maul who developed the Wayfinder device that fell into the hands of Darth Vader after it was stolen from Crimson Dawn, which was Darth Maul's crime syndicate during the events of Solo: A Star Wars Story. It's noted that in the novel, it will dive into the origin of the Wayfinder device that Darth Maul developed on his own, while he was the leader of Crimson Dawn, since it's explained that Darth Maul was able to use parts of ancient Sith relics to develop the Wayfinder. These relics were said to have dated before the Old Republic era and came from the ancient Sith that Darth Maul discovered in one of the Dark Temples over in the Outer Rim. It said that Darth Maul once communicated with the Fallen Will when visiting the Dark Temple, and that it was a Fallen Will who guided Darth Maul into developing the Wayfinder device to find the very center of the dark side of the Force and where the galaxy really started. Now, Darth Maul felt he needed to make the device since he was looking for a greater power for himself and to learn more about the dark side of the Force. This Wayfinder device that will make an appearance in the film will be fully explained about its creation by Darth Maul in the novel due for release in March of 2020 next year, in which it will explain many aspects of the device and its origins. Now, at one point, it's noted that Darth Maul felt the presence of the Midwu over in the unknown regions and wanted to discover this species. This species, called the Midwu, were actually where Snoke came from, and why Maul felt a great dark side power from afar. It said that the device that Maul built was eventually stolen by a bounty hunter affiliated with the Empire at the time, where the device later fell into the hands of Darth Vader, hence why it is called Darth Vader's Wayfinder device in The Rise of Skywalker. Vader began to learn more about the unknown regions this way and the ancient Sith as Darth Maul inserted an ancient artifact into the Wayfinder device that would allow one to see visions of the past, including the ancient Sith, to learn more about the origins of the dark side over in the Beyond, which is said to be the most powerful Force nexus in the entire galaxy. The upcoming novel will dive deeper into its creation by Darth Maul, which will fall into the hands of Kylo Ren to find Palpatine's location, with his Knights of Ren by his side to enter Palpatine's base and to explore the origins of the dark side. It said that Maul was indeed looking for the world of Exegol, as it is said to be a planet closest to the Beyond, where one could meditate through a power stronger than the dark side itself, that would offer powers beyond anyone's imagination, which eventually Sidious was able to discover sometime before The Force Awakens, and after Return of the Jedi after his fake-out death. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, the thing about The Rise of Skywalker that I really do disagree with when it comes to Disney and Lucasfilm is why a lot of the lore is going to be explained in a novelization. That's my one big problem with The Rise of Skywalker, is that a lot of elements of this movie will only be explained in an actual book. Now, not everybody out there reads the books related to Star Wars, and that's perfectly fine. Not a lot of people do that. The hardcore fans, absolutely, but a lot of fans of the Star Wars franchise in general tend to only stick to the actual movies. Now, yes, we are going to see this Wayfinder device in The Rise of Skywalker, and yes, we will be learning more about its origins and how Darth Maul created it in the actual novel releasing next year. But what is very intriguing about this is that it was eventually stolen by a bounty hunter from Darth Maul to give to Darth Vader, hence why it's going to be called Darth Vader's Wayfinder device in present time. So the thing about The Rise of Skywalker is that this movie is going to be tapping into specific types of Force lore. The thing that really stands out to me the most here is that Darth Maul was able to develop this device by really being guided by the Fallen Will. In case you guys have no idea what the Fallen Will essentially is, it is a godlike being who created the dark side itself. So that's what the actual novel is going to dive more into, is that it's going to explain more elements of the dark side, the light side of the Force, and everything around those lines. So that's one thing to really be, looking forward to, at least. If you're a hardcore fan that wants to learn more about all of this, that's going to be further explained in the form of a book. Now, as far as the casual fans go, and even some of the hardcore fans, there are a lot of hardcore fans out there, mind you, that also don't read the books. That's a given. Is that this is somewhat frustrating, that part of this won't be explained in the actual movie, and you have to actually go ahead and pick this book up in, let's say, a bookstore, whatever, or an ebook in order to learn more about this. Now, with that being said, Darth Maul, very powerful figure in the Star Wars universe. A lot of fans know him from the very beginning in The Phantom Menace, where he was able to come back to life in, the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, and all those different lines, right? Even in Solo: A Star Wars Story, it explains, how he is back in, to the actual Star Wars galaxy, and basically serving as the leader of Crimson Dawn. And that's going to be also touched upon in the official novelization and this particular device. Now, this device is said to have an ancient artifact embedded within it that allows a Darkside user to witness visions of the ancient Sith. So, about the ancient Sith, Darth Maul was said to visit an actual dark temple. He knew about this species called the Midwu. So he felt the dark presence over in the unknown regions. This species was actually called the Midwu, which, by the way, is said to be the species of Snoke that Palpatine is going to clone in the very beginning of this movie. So there are going to be Snoke clones in the very beginning of Episode 9, and that's also going to be further explained in the novelization. How do I feel about the Snoke clones? I will say that I think it's a little poor, the fact that they could have just done this with Palpatine, and they're just choosing to do this with Snoke in order to really cover their tracks of what Rian Johnson did by killing off the character so fast. But anyways, I digress. The thing that really is quite impressive, I will add, is the moment in which Darth Maul, was able to develop this device by using ancient Sith relics. And part of these relics are actually artifacts taken from specific holocrons, which could explain as to why the Wayfinder devices are said to be in the shape of a triangle. So they're not a holocron in any way, shape, or form, but they are based on Sith relics as far as its design goes, which could very well mean that Darth Maul used scrap pieces of a holocron in order to make the exterior, the housing of the device, if you will, in order to keep everything intact from within. So that's going to be very interesting. We do know that Disney and Lucasfilm, they're planning to create a new Star Wars universe in 2020 and throughout the 2020s in order to really create their own version of the EU, just like what they did after Return of the Jedi. Do I think that the new EU is going to be around the same, lines of the old EU? I don't believe so in any way, shape, or form. They can try all they want. The original EU was the best it could really get, in my point of view at least. And the last thing I just want to tap into here is that we will be seeing this device. It's said to be quite a large device. It fits in the palm of your hand. The one that Kylo Ren comes across is the one that was created by Darth Maul and later fell into the hands of Darth Vader, where Vader kept it locked away over in his personal vault in the unknown regions, or should I say over in the Outer Rim, that Kylo Ren is going to use to go to the unknown regions. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.